The move to distance learning is affecting students worldwide. We have the latest on plans to help students move back into the classroom.
And the cast from some of your favorite classic TV shows and movies have been reuniting online. Learn where they are now and entertainment.
And City College students hurt by the pandemic can look forward to a help from the federal government. We have the details.
And temperatures are starting to spike. When can you expect the heat? We'll tell you all of it in weather. Newscene starts now. Hi, I'm Noelle Mortensen.
And I'm Vicky Pineda. Welcome to this edition of Newscene. As the stay-at-home order remains in place, Newscene continues to work remotely. But our commitment to bringing you the news of the week remains as strong as ever.
Small businesses are receiving their second batch of loans from the federal government. But what defines a small business has resulted in controversy. Nearly 250 companies applied for more than $900 million from the government program, but many businesses have experienced technical glitches. And large companies like the Los Angeles Lakers, Shake Shack, and Ruth's Hospitality Group returned funds when the support was made public.
A new meal plan set to feed seniors across the state could run out of money before making its first delivery. Governor Newsom requested federal funding for the program, the first of its kind in the nation, back in early April. But the rollout has been delayed, and now funds not used by May 10th will be lost.
If you're feeling news fatigue from all the stories about COVID-19, you are not alone. A new study by Pew Research Center says that 7 in 10 U.S. adults need to take a break from watching the news. Americans have been paying close attention to media outlets during the pandemic, far more than ever before. And on that note, this seems like a perfect place for a mental wellness break. What do you think, Vicky?
Hey, yes, I have the perfect story. Southern California beaches are putting on one incredible nighttime show. A phenomenon called bioluminescence has been lighting the water with beautiful colors. Animals and surfers alike are taking rides on the blue waves. Scientists say the beautiful neon colors come from tiny little organisms moving through the water.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues, many states are planning to reopen as early as today. But here in San Diego County, it is moving forward at a slower pace. The update comes as local officials reported 173 new positive cases and extended the stay-at-home order indefinitely last night. And as of today, everyone in the county is required to wear facial coverings while in public or in the workplace. With testing still at a high priority, San Diego County has added 2 new locations for drive-through testing in Chula Vista and Escondido.
We have done a good job as a region in flattening the curve and buying ourselves time to build up our capacity, but we do not want to throw away all of that progress by losing our focus as we begin to move forward.
And don't qualify for unemployment? Help has finally arrived for self-employed, freelance, and gig workers. The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program helps anyone with a short wage history or who has run out of unemployment. To qualify, you do have to be legally authorized to work in California. For more information, visit edd.ca.gov.
College students are suing the Cal State and UC system, demanding a refund for mandatory fees they paid before the coronavirus outbreak. A class action suit has been filed, insisting on returning fees for the use of on-campus facilities. The Cal State spokesman says that universities will fight the suit as students are still receiving many campus services remotely. He also says that some of the fees are getting refunded as outlined in an interim policy.
And speaking of education, the government is working with states to get over 1 billion students back in the classroom in our lead report. Bernice? Thank you, Vicky and Noel. During this pandemic, moving to online learning has been a big transition for many students. The United Nations estimates 1.3 billion with a B kids worldwide are out of school. And nearly 55 million of those are here in the US. Going digital has had plenty of challenges. Some students didn't have a laptop or internet access to connect with their teachers. And teachers have had to transition away from traditional classrooms with little time and training. Now officials are laying out their proposals to get students back in the fall. From the White House, President Trump said he wanted states to consider opening schools before the end of the school year. But in 40 states, the nation's governors have already said schools will remain closed this academic year. And the largest teachers union in the country has a plan of their very own on how to safely return teachers and students to the classroom. Here is California Governor Gavin Newsom, who floated the idea of an earlier start to the school year. Newsom said that could be as early as late July.
Of an even earlier school year into the fall, as early as late July, early August.
The governor said the move could address concerns of the learning loss while also allowing parents to go back to work. Closer to home, the San Diego Unified School District has also discussed the possibility of starting school early next year. According to a San Diego Unified Board trustee, Richard Barrera, he has said it can get done, but it will be very difficult. One consideration everyone seems to agree on, the most important issue, is the safety of the students. We will keep following this developing story. Reporting for Newscene from Tijuana, Mexico, I'm Bernice Chavez. Back to you.
And at San Diego City College, students struggling during the pandemic can expect financial relief from the federal government. $2.3 million have been allocated for students from the CARES Act. That's the relief fund approved by the Senate back in March, but not every city student is eligible. It excludes DACA, undocumented, and international students from receiving the funds.
With so much job loss in our country, one city is doing its part to turn the tide. The National City Chamber hosted its first online job fair. The event was held via Zoom earlier this week. The fair was free and roughly 200 people signed up for the event. Job seekers were also encouraged to dress in business attire and bring up-to-date resumes.
The people of San Diego can continue to swim and play at many of our local beaches. Governor Newsom announced on Thursday that the state ban on beach activities would only apply to Orange County. You might remember last weekend, large crowds gathered around the coast north of us. San Diego County carefully loosened restrictions on recreation this week by expanding the access to many local parks and beaches.
Virtual art and Comic-Con may be canceled, but one of its biggest draws is going virtual. Artist Alley is Comic-Con's pop-up shop featuring comic books, graphic novels, and creative projects. The fan favorite was a big revenue generator for indie artists and smaller vendors. To help them out, the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog has created an online artist alley. Check it out online by visiting edd.ca.gov and search for 2020 Artist Alley.
And what are the big name celebrities doing during their downtime? Many are coming together for a good cause. Laura has more in entertainment.
Thanks, Vicky and Noel. TV and movie casts are using their downtime to reunite virtually this week. Remember the teen movie The Goonies?
The cast of The Goonies!
The crew reunited along with host Josh Gad to celebrate the movie's 35th anniversary on Monday. The cast of The Goonies shared personal stories and reenacted scenes from the flick. Reunited Apart now has over 1 million views on YouTube, proving that Goonies never say die. And stars from another classic TV hit are joining together on Snapchat. The cast of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air appeared on the last episode of Will Smith's series, Will From Home. The actors told stories from their days on set and shared clips they loved. With COVID-19 keeping creators indoors, we may be seeing more of these online reunions. Stay tuned. And tensions are high between AMC Theaters and Universal Pictures. But the reason might surprise you. It turns out the successful home release of Trolls World Tour has the nation's largest movie chain calling foul. Universal suggested that future releases may go straight to streaming, even after the pandemic is over. In response, AMC said it will be banning Universal movies when theaters reopen. With theaters still closed, the Oscars has made temporary revisions to its rules.
And the Oscar goes to...
Due to the pandemic, films that go straight to streaming will still be eligible for nominations, but award officials say this will be a one-time change and they remain committed to the movie-going experience. The 93rd Academy Awards are scheduled for February 28th, 2021. That's all for this week's entertainment. Now, back to the anchors.
Thanks, Laura, and congratulations to the student newspaper of San Diego City College. The City Times news website and its magazine Legend won General Excellence Awards from the Journalism Association of Community College State Awards. The JCC also recognized former staffer David Ahumada for graphics, and Sonny Garibay and Scott Gardiner won honorable mentions for news writing.
College athletes are one step closer to getting paid. The NCAA Board of Governors approved a rule change allowing students to make money off their names. Student athletes now permitted to promote their sport and college. The declaration comes after Governor Newsom signed a bill allowing student athletes in California to sign endorsement deals.
2 months after a fiery crash at the end of Daytona 500, Ryan Newman has been cleared to race. The driver of the number 6 Ford suffered a bruised brain from the crash, but still was able to walk out of the hospital 2 days later. Due to the pandemic, Newman only missed 3 races this season. He plans to return to racing when NASCAR series resumes later this month.
There is one winner when it comes to the stay-at-home order, and that's Earth. Travel restrictions, along with lockdown of majority city industries, has reduced air pollution around the world. One study says that cities like Wuhan, China, and New Delhi, India, have shown improvement in reducing pollutants. Air pollution is a health crisis, according to the World Health Association, an organization that it's killing about 7 million people a year.
Get ready to break out the sunscreen. Joel has more in weather.
Thanks, Noel and Vicky. We have a fantastic weekend ahead of us, but we have some changes coming early next week. We will see an increase in temperatures over the next few days, and we'll get to that later. And also we need to bring up the fog. Now, there is some patchy fog that you will see happening before noon and after midnight. And of course, if you're going outside and you're going to your local beach, which you need to check if it's open before you actually go, remember to wear sunscreen of at least SPF 30+. Looking at our current temperatures, you will see that our temperatures are mostly consistent, all in the upper 50s. In both the coast and inland, you will see those patchy fog I talked about. But in the mountain deserts, it'll be mostly clear. When it comes to our national forecast, you will see over on the East Coast a big patch of green. That is for rain and thunderstorms in the state of New York and in Pennsylvania. Most of it, at least. Thankfully for us, locally, we do not have any chance of rain, but our temperatures are, for the most part, consistent. You will see that, especially in the inland and coast, we have upper 50s. With Encinitas having 60 degrees tonight, San Diego at 59, and Del Mar 58, with the lowest being Campo at 49 over in the desert. Looking at our 5-day forecast, you will see that the temperature will drastically go up for the next 5 days with at least 12 degrees of temperature from Saturday's high of 73 all the way to Wednesday's high of 85. And you see that we'll have that patchy fog being there all the way until Tuesday, and Wednesday we'll have the sun out. Now, of course, remember, if you're going outside, remember to stay hydrated, stay safe, and remember again, sunscreen of 30 plus SPF. That is all for weather. Back to you, Noel and Vicky.
Thanks, Joel. We're looking forward to a beautiful weekend ahead. And finally, tonight, we here at Newscene are learning the ins and outs of broadcast news business, but one ABC reporter has shown us all what not to do when on camera. Reporter Will Reeves was caught without his pants literally on air during a Good Morning America segment this week. The story was about using drones to deliver prescriptions to a Florida retirement village. But we'd guess no one remembers that part. As he was wrapping up, the camera switched to a wide shot, revealing his bare legs below a pair of shorts. To Reeves' credit, he said later he hoped to give everyone a much-needed laugh. And it did!
Well, that's all we have for tonight, but we'll be back next week.
Until then, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you for watching, and stay safe and healthy. And from all of us here at Newscene, good night.